Hi, Sayu Rinpoche here. This time I am on Ocean Cay. So this is the private island that's reserved for guests on MSC Cruises. Welcome to Sayu Sky Channel and welcome to Cruise Port Without Excursions. Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve is a private island in the Bahamas developed and operated by MSC Cruises. This means that only guests of MSC Cruises get to visit and enjoy the facilities on this island. While Ocean Cay is not a big place, it is very easy to spend an entire day there without realizing it. Now the question is, what can you do there on your own without booking any excursions? Alright, let's go explore Ocean Cay. Vámonos. Yeah, well, since this is pretty much like a private island of the cruise company, so this is actually probably one of the easiest places to do everything while without excursion. There are things that come at an extra cost, but well, whether you count that as excursion or not, up to you. As Ocean Cay is very small, anyone who visits this island would have no problem reaching every single corner of this island while the cruise ship is docked. Therefore, I'm not going to talk about any itineraries. How you would like to spend your day in Ocean Cay is entirely up to you. And this video is here to help you on planning your perfect visit. I have created some sections on this map to better show you what you're expecting to see and do. First, let's start with the cruise pier. You will find the client service desk and the transport pavilion, where you can take electric golf cart style trams to different parts of Ocean Cay if you don't enjoy or want to walk. Continue walking towards the left, you reach the Lighthouse Bay and Beach area. This is the closest beach to the cruise port. One thing I found out was that there were limited numbers of sun umbrellas you could use for free, unlike umbrellas in other areas where you had to pay. More on that later. Yeah, some say this beach right by the port is good for snorkeling. Well, I just went into there. I don't think it was as good as I thought. Despite the water being crystal clear, there wasn't really any fish or other sea lives. I learned that you need to go closer to the rocks, but the rocks in this section were not that convenient to access. It was easy to get hurt, and the visibility was very poor on the day of my visit. We'll be talking about a much better place for snorkeling and seeing fish somewhere else in Ocean Cay. So make sure you keep watching. But for the beach itself, I have to say this gotta be one of the nicest and softest sand I've ever touched. Not just on this island, but probably anywhere in the world. The beach is certainly the highlight of this section. Right next to the beach, you'll also find Ocean Cay's lighthouse. There is normally a light show in the evening, so make sure you don't miss it. Or you can also miss it. I thought it was just okay, to be honest. The lighthouse has a bar attached to it where you can use your drink package purchased from the cruise. If you wish to reach the top of the lighthouse, I believe there is a cruise excursion that allows you to do so. Again, this video is about how to rock and roll without excursions, so we're not gonna go up there this time. And these things are... Oh, it's a boat. Continue north from the lighthouse, we will reach the Great Bimini Beach. The water at this location looked very enticing. However, the beach was not made of soft sand like what you saw at the Lighthouse Bay Beach. It was rather rocky. That explains why you find very few people swimming there. Overall, I think the Great Bimini Beach is great for taking pictures of the sea or enjoying sunbathing without a horde of people, but not so much for swimming. Going further north, you'll find the wedding pavilion area. If there isn't a wedding ceremony, it's a good place for taking Instagram photos, as different shades of blue found in the water nearby looked absolutely unreal. Otherwise, this area doesn't really have a swimmable beach, much like the Great Bimini Beach. Up next, let's head to the Grand Canal, one of the most popular places to be here at the Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. Alright, behind me, this is the Grand Canal. So apparently it took inspirations from the Grand Canal in Venice. My family got them some umbrellas over there, and yeah, they have to pay $30 for an umbrella. Grand Canal is actually pretty busy. There are a lot of people, and so far, based on what I've seen, this is probably the least interesting area anyways. Yeah, you heard that right. Despite being popular and looks great on photos, the Grand Canal, in my opinion, is not my favorite place here in Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. It felt like a lake rather than a part of the ocean. I wore my snorkeling gear into the deeper part of the Grand Canal, and the water there was pretty muddy compared to other swimmable beaches. Here are some footages for you to make your own judgment. Whew, the water is chilly, really chilly. Alright, now it's the time to try out the Grand Canal. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Another downside for the Grand Canal area is that there also weren't any shades close by, so that means if you want to stay there for a long time, renting an umbrella is almost mandatory for most people. Still, the Grand Canal is a signature area of Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. You probably won't find something similar on any other private islands for cruisers at the moment. The shallow water there also makes it suitable for children who might not be ready for the real open water yet. Adult supervision mandatory, of course. Because the Grand Canal is located right in the center of Ocean Cay, you'll find plenty of restrooms where you can find water fountains for drinking water and restaurants. Because Ocean Cay is run by MSC Cruises, food for most, if not all buffet restaurants and snack stations are completely complimentary. Just see them as buffet restaurants on board your cruise ship. They only serve food during certain hours of the day, so make sure you pay close attention to the hours of operations so you don't either go there way too early or miss the last call. The Grand Canal has two sides, the south side closer to the cruise ship pier, and the north side located on the small island of the Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. To reach the north side of the Grand Canal, you will need to cross a bridge that straddles between the main island and the small island. The scenery and vibes of the north side weren't that different from the south side of the Grand Canal, except it's a little bit less crowded. Now we're on the small island, and there were certainly more things to see here, so let's check them out. The first area you will encounter is the reserved area for MSC Yacht Club members called the Ocean House. Well, since I'm too broke, this area is off limit to me, which means if you're a Yacht Club member, you get to enjoy these amazing amenities there without worrying about random people like me. For us ordinary people who manage to save enough money to pay for the cruise fare by eating crappy food at home for a year, there is an alternative for us, the Ocean Beach. The water there is just as impressive as what you see from the outside of Yacht Club Ocean House, minus the club member status. Because this beach is the farthest from the cruise pier, it was much less crowded than the Lighthouse Bay Beach or the Grand Canal. Alright guys, let's do it. Yeah, it's gonna be cold. 1, 2, 3. There were also sun beds right underneath palm trees nearby, so you may not need to rent an umbrella. The Ocean Beach was my favorite part of the Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, mostly due to one reason alone: snorkeling. The area close to the palm trees towards the western end of the beach has a rocky area. This, in my opinion, is the best spot for snorkeling. Here are some footages I shot to prove my point. The final area I'm going to introduce in Ocean Cay is the village area. This area has a lot of colorful Caribbean-style houses. These buildings are reserved for the living quarters of staff members, so as a cruiser, you won't be able to go in regardless of your cabin class. Still, they're quite nice to see from the outside. The two areas you can go are a shelter bay with beach behind the buildings, which was super shallow and very exposed with almost no shades. Pretty similar to the Grand Canal, minus the deep sections plus more wind. and the shops where you can buy MSC and Ocean Cay souvenirs on the way back to the cruise pier. Overall, I think Ocean Cay is a great cruise ship port that I will return in the future, for sure. Because this is a private island operated by MSC, that means everyone works there is a staff member of the cruise company. No need to worry about safety or getting ripped off. Therefore, you can easily visit Ocean Cay without any excursions booked. Although, for me, that was not quite the case, as our family actually paid $30 for a beach umbrella, which, according to the tag, kind of counts as an excursion. Okay, so this somehow counts as an excursion? Hey, at least later we found out that the price is for using sun umbrellas at any location in Ocean Cay for the day, rather than just for one umbrella at one particular spot. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you found the information being helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. If you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.